All right, good morning, everyone, and almost good afternoon. I'm Darren Bob, along with Claire Everbach. We are interrupting programming for just a few minutes here on Channel 5 and the 5 News app, as police are now going to, in moments, share more information about a story that we have been following all night long into this morning about an officer who was shot by a suspect. You're looking live there at the Fort Smith Police Department. Well, they'll give us an update here in just a few moments. You can see the officer's name behind him. We will have an update from Fort Smith Police coming up in just a few minutes.
After that officer was shot near the McClure Amphitheater, police chased the suspect to I-540 in Grand Avenue.
Yeah, we're looking at video from on your right side of where the scene began, or where this incident began at McClure Landing. And at the bottom right, you can see our aerial footage of where this chase ended, with the suspect being shot and killed there at Grand Avenue and 540, where I think we just were given the 1-minute warning for this news conference. Eric Mitchell, you saw him standing there. He is the public information officer. We understand that Chief Danny Baker will be there as well to give an update as to what happened this morning, what led up to this, what started this, and how it all came to an end.
Yeah, we're taking a live look over I-540 right now, which the exit near Grand Avenue was closed earlier so that ASP could complete their investigations, but it is back open now.
State police were asked to come in earlier this morning. Chief Danny Baker made that request, and that's pretty standard procedure when a situation like this happens, that state police investigators are called in, and we will hopefully get an update from state police as well on this. But for sure, Chief Danny Baker, again, that on the right side there is Eric Mitchell. He is the public information officer for Fort Smith Police. I'm wondering if we're just now about ready to get started, so let's go listen to the news conference.
Regarding a critical incident, Fort Smith police officers that occurred involving Fort Smith police officers early this morning near the amphitheater off McClure Drive. At approximately 1:23 a.m., Fort Smith police officers were investigating a group of juveniles in the park area when officers observed a white pickup truck drive into a ditch nearby. Officer Kyle Newman approached the vehicle to check on the driver, while another remained with the juveniles and several parents who had arrived at the scene to take custody of their children. During the contact, Officer Newman approached the white truck and began a driving while intoxicated investigation involving the driver, identified as 27-year-old Joshua Keller of Fort Smith. At one point during the encounter, Keller became argumentative, re-entered the vehicle, and attempted to flee. As Officer Newman attempted to detain him outside the vehicle, Keller produced a handgun and shot Officer Newman in the neck. Officer Newman returned fire as he fell to the ground. The other officer present at the time responded immediately after hearing gunfire. He broadcast that shots had been fired and fired at the fleeing vehicle, and then began rendering aid to Officer Newman while additional officers responded to the area. The suspect fled the scene in the pickup truck, leading officers onto Interstate 540. The pursuit ended after the suspect vehicle crashed near the Grand Avenue exit. As officers approached the vehicle following the crash, an additional officer-involved shooting occurred. The suspect, Joshua Keller, was pronounced deceased at the scene. A handgun was recovered from inside the vehicle. Officer Newman was transported by EMS and later airlifted to a local trauma center, where he remains in critical condition. This remains an active and ongoing investigation. The Arkansas State Police has been requested to investigate the officer-involved shooting connected to the pursuit and crash scene. The Fort Smith Police Department Criminal Investigations Division is leading the investigation on McClure Drive. At this time, certain investigative details cannot be released in order to protect the integrity of the investigation and ensure accuracy. We ask that our community, all communities who have heard about this, to keep Officer Newman, his family, and all involved personnel in their thoughts and prayers. At this time, I would like to yield to Chief Baker, and he has a statement as well.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. As you might imagine, this has been an extremely difficult and emotional night for our department. Officer Kyle Newman is fighting for his life today because he responded to protect this community and was confronted with an armed individual who chose violence. I want to be very clear. The actions of our officers overnight prevented a dangerous suspect from escaping into our community and potentially causing even greater harm. The courage shown by Officer Newman, the responding officers, the dispatchers, the EMS personnel, and our partner agencies was extraordinary. Even after suffering a catastrophic injury, Officer Newman continued fighting and attempting to stop the threat that he was facing. That speaks directly to his bravery and to his commitment. We're grateful to the Fort Smith Fire Department, Fort Smith EMS, the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office, Arkansas State Police, TAC Air, and the medical teams who worked tirelessly to save Officer Newman's life. Right now, our focus is on supporting Officer Newman and his family while ensuring a complete and transparent investigation takes place. The public has a right and should expect a thorough review of every aspect of this incident, but please be patient with us. If we must choose between being fast and being accurate in our investigations, we'll choose accuracy every time. This community has already shown tremendous support, and we're deeply thankful for the prayers, the messages, the assistance that we have received from across this state and Oklahoma. Please continue praying for Officer Newman, for his family, for everyone affected by this incident. None of us are immune from the emotional trauma that this kind of thing causes. We sincerely appreciate your care and your concern. At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Lieutenant Pierce with Arkansas State Police.
Thank you, Chief. My name is Philip Pierce. I'm with the Arkansas State Police. In the early hours of this morning, we were requested by the Fort Smith Police Department to respond to an officer-involved shooting that happened on I-540 at the overpass of Grand Avenue. Myself and agents arrived on the scene. We conducted a thorough investigation. We will complete that investigation and turn it over to the prosecutor. I can't give you any other information without tainting the evidence or tainting the case. Okay, thank you.
We've tried to be as open with this as we can right now, given the status of the investigation. So there may be some things that we can't really answer right now, but I do want to open it up for some questions, and we'll do our best to respond.
You were saying that the officer is fighting for his life right now. Can you tell us any more about his condition? Has he went through surgery? Has he been able to talk?
I'll yield to you on that, Chief.
We're not going to talk too much about his medical condition, but he is still in critical condition. I don't believe that we've gotten any response from him. We're hopeful that he is improving, but he's still very much in danger.
Can you tell us a little bit about his work history for the PD, how long he's been here?
He's been with the Fort Smith Police Department just a little bit over a year.
He went through the academy here. And
Yes, he did.
Keller, what is his history? Do you guys know anything about him? Does he have a criminal history?
I have not been made aware of a criminal history. I don't know that he has a significant history with the police department. I really can't comment on much of that. It's still part of the investigation.
I understand. And just wanted to ask you, whenever officers were there.
We're listening to Chief Danny Baker from the Fort Smith Police Department giving us an update as to what happened this morning involving the Fort Smith Police Department and Officer Newman being shot. We're going to send you back now to CBS and the PGA Championship coverage. We will stay streaming, though, on 5 News Plus and all of our social media platforms, so stay with us here.
He does, and again, I don't want to get too much into his personal life at this time, As his family is with him, and we want to respect their privacy. But he is a family man. He is a veteran. He's a very good officer. Been very proud of the work that he's done, and hope that he will continue to do.
And if the community wants to reach out to you guys just to offer their thoughts, their prayers, just to leave messages for you guys, where can they do that?
We would be happy to have them call us, email us. info@fortsmithpd.org would make sure that it got to us, so where we could get it to the family and the officers. Our Facebook page, if social media is the way that they would like to do that, leaving messages there would be good as well.
Were there any other agencies involved on the shooting at the overpass?
I don't believe so. No.
I think that's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming, and the details of what we did lay out for what happened this morning, we will send those to you shortly following this. So
Thank you.
appreciate you all.
You said he was taken to a local hospital. Are you able to share where that is?
Okay, again, listening to the Fort Smith Police Department talking about what happened this morning. Around 1:30 this morning, Officer Newman was at the McClure Landing, where there were some juveniles who had gathered there, and he was doing an investigation into possible public intoxication, and that's when he was trying to make an arrest on Joshua Keller. That name was just given to us. That's the suspect's name. When Keller began arguing with Officer Newman, that's when a shot was fired. Officer Newman was hit in the neck. He fired shots as he was falling to the ground, according to the police department. And then a chase began, starting at McClure Landing. And if you know where that is, that's in the southeast part of Fort Smith. It went down Mazard Road, ended up on Rogers Avenue to 540, where you can see here where the chase ended at 540 and Grand Avenue, where there was another officer-involved shooting. That is when Joshua Keller was actually shot and killed by Fort Smith police.
Yeah, we do have the confirmation that, this name we just heard, Josh Keller of Fort Smith, did flee the scene. He did end up being shot and killed. In this video that we're seeing, there was a large police presence all morning. We also have 5 News anchor Joe Ellison, who was at the presser and asking those questions that you heard just a few minutes ago. We are working to learn more details, but as we did hear from Eric, there's really not a lot of other details they can say right now.
Well, with that investigation underway, there's not a lot that they can say other than giving us the early facts or the early details as to what happened, as to why Officer Newman was actually sent to McClure Landing with that group of juveniles who were there gathering. He did mention that parents were on their way and some had gotten there to take custody of their juvenile children when this argument began with Officer Newman and Joshua Keller. And that's when the shots were fired. And then the chase began, and then Keller was shot and killed by Fort Smith police at 540 in Grand Avenue.
Yeah, we also know that Officer Newman does remain in critical condition. He was transported and airlifted out. We, of course, right now, the most important thing, as Chief Danny Baker said, is to keep everyone, including Officer Newman, the entire Fort Smith Police Department, in our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, very emotional night. He was talking about, Joe Ellison has been with us pretty much all morning long from the time it started, Joe, at that news conference at the Fort Smith Police Department. Joe, what else can you add here as to the feeling of that room?
Yeah, Darren, I'll tell you, you're right. I mean, it has been an emotional day for all of these officers involved, working on this throughout the night, in the middle of the night, talking to all of them. such an emotional time for them. You know, they're going through a lot right now. They're worried about their fellow officer, waiting to hear, you know, word on what happens with him. Go ahead and take a look. We'll give you another look at Officer Kyle Newman here, who you just heard the police chief say, you know, was a veteran. He's been with the department over a year now, in the hospital. The chief saying that he's not sharing the location of that hospital just for security reasons, but it is not a local hospital, so it's somewhere outside of our area where he was flown to the hospital there. And of course, we're keeping a close eye with police to find out his condition. The entire community wanting to know what happens next with this Officer Newman, and we're waiting to learn more too. Now, I spoke with them as well just about learning more about the suspect. They tell us here soon they're going to share some information, some more information with us, hopefully a photo of the suspect, maybe some background. We'll try to work on getting that for you as well. But right now here, the entire police officer community, very emotional day for them. They're all staying close together, just waiting to hear about the officer. Back to you.